to tie into the abundance and gratitude gala that I'm going to be launching on January 15th. It's going to be a live interactive healing, co-creating adventure. And I fully don't know what it's going to look like, but this ties into it because when I want you to start thinking big. It feels like my theme this year, think big. Go big or go home. If you're going to do it, go all in. We need to get out of our own way because for me, I'm already living in 5D Earth. If you're not, it's because you're mentally locking yourself down into 3D. And 5D, there's so much beyond 5D, and I can't wait to go there. My soul is there, but my consciousness and spirit are still here to assist through this process. I have a contract to do this, so I'm assisting. Even though some days I'm like, what were you thinking signing up for all this stuff? For us to really bring in our new life, to bring in the 5D and above timelines, we have to be thinking big. We have to be thinking outside of the box. We have to think outside the limitations of man. We need to think outside the limitations of what we've been told were our limitations our entire life. Because there are really no limitations. You want to break the matrix? Break down all your limitations and all your small mindset. I want to tell you some examples of how I've been breaking this down and how it's manifested in my life. In 2021, we had a cruise plan. It was canceled. We had booked it 3 years in advance. If you book really far in advance, they're really cheap and a great deal, and you can get the rooms you want. And so we're like, oh, we're going to do this. This will be so much fun. We got the perfect family room with bunk beds. Canceled. And then when they opened up cruising again, oh, you got to be arm marked. You've got to have testing, all this stuff. And we're like, we're done. We're never going to get to do that again. We love it. It's one of our favorite ways to travel. It's just, to me, I don't know, I just love it. And so my friend told me right before I went on my last cruise that she's like, they're not requiring the arm marks anymore, but they are requiring a self-test before you go. And a self-test could be anything. Like you just had to send a picture of it. Like it was nothing. No doctor, no nothing. And I'm like, okay, we can work around that. Well, by the time we went, there was no testing, like nothing was required. I just answered 3 questions, like, have I had a fever? Have I felt ill in the past 3 days or something? And did I have the arm mark? And I said, no. We got on. It was great. I was surrounded by thousands of people who had taken all those procedures and we weren't affected. It was great. There was some part of me when I first learned about cruises that I was like, oh my gosh, they have 2-story cruise rooms. Can you believe that? That would be so amazing. But that would never happen for me. I could never afford it. It would just never align. Guess what? My last cruise was in a 2-story cruise room, and guess what? I could afford it very comfortably, and it was amazing. I could wake up in bed and I was look out these 2-story windows out at the ocean. It was just beautiful. So what happened? This gratitude and abundance gala is really going to assist you in manifesting your best life into the new year. I can't promise you anything, but I'm going to give you the tools. We're going to have some journals for you. We're going to have some activities. We're going to do some co-creating. I'm going to clear a lot of blocks and imbalances that are preventing you from really stepping into what are your desires. If you could travel anywhere in 2023, where would it be? You're going to see me start putting out some more of this. I want you to start dreaming again. Oh, get your head out of the clouds, Raylene. You're a grown-up now. You need to stop dreaming and get back down to reality in life. What does that really mean? When people say that to you, it means get integrated back into the matrix mind control system and stop stepping outside of the box. You're too old for that. We're supposed to be children, innocent like children, curious like children, have dreams like children. And to them, there are no limits. I want to be a princess when I grow up. I want to fly to Mars. I want to do this. And what do we do as adults? Honey, you'll never be a princess because you weren't born into royalty. You'll never go to space because, we're limited. And then we start limiting our children. I'm guilty of it too. We need to break out of this. You know where I would go in 2023 if I could go anywhere? I would have full union with my spirit, my soul, and my consciousness with my twin flame in the highest dimension of New Earth that we could support. And you thought I was thinking of going to Bali. When I say go big, I mean it. And we're going to co-create this, and we're going to feed off of each other. And I see it being this beautiful time of manifestation and creation. And then as we're manifesting it and creating it, I'm going to be helping and clearing things that are obstacles in our way to doing this. Somebody said, what day is it? It's on a Sunday. I just muscle tested the best day to do it, and it's January 15th, which I believe is a Sunday. And I'll do it in the evening. You can participate in real time. We're going to do a live Zoom, or you can catch the replay. I think we'll have a replay option where you can purchase it like a class and still get the journals and start that. But the first part of living your dreams is writing it down. So when I'm asking you, if you could do anything in 2023, if you could do these things, I'm actually getting you to do the first step of manifesting and stepping into your new life. And then after you write it down, you start thinking about it. And we're going to go into the process of this. You start looking up trips and looking at cool cruise rooms and be like, well, what's the best one out there? I want that one. And then you start taking steps to make it happen. Did my cruise book itself? Nope. Did I get some information that you should start booking and looking at cruises, Raylene, even though it sounds crazy right now? Who can book a cruise a month in advance and still get an awesome room and everything you want and go to the exact destination you needed to be at to work on a Stargate on 1212? Thousands and thousands of miles away from your home. I don't know. I stepped into it. I said yes. I started looking. Oh my gosh, what room can we afford? What room can fit our family of 5? 2-story cruise room. Boom. Book the thing. Like, it took some action on my part, some faith, some stepping out, some courage, trusting myself. But I did it. And I want you to start doing this. And so that's, to me, what the Gratitude and Abundance Gala is. Bobby Joe says Gala. I say Gala. Our accent differences, however you want to say it. That is what I see, and I feel like really exciting energy building behind it already. So I hope you can join me. There will be a cost involved because I'm doing live quantum healing with you. We're going to do manifesting. You're going to have the awesome journal that Bobby Joe is going to create with us or for us. And I hope it's going to take you into the new year with Gregorian calendar new year. It's not really the new year, but it's going to take you into the 2023 new year for us and help you get to those higher timelines, higher dimensions, experiencing these 5D experiences that you've been cut off of. You're watching everybody else do it. Why can't it be you? It can be. You know, I lived my whole life watching other people have these great relationships and marriages, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to be me. I don't have any role models in my life. Like, everybody's divorced or has these really toxic, like narcissistic, vampiric relationships that I know. And my husband and I have co-created this really beautiful relationship. It's really beautiful. And when I started letting go and breaking down the barriers of what a relationship should be, what we should be doing, it started to blossom. And we are just so good together now. And I am excited to facilitate his twin flame reunion through this vessel. It's going to leave, eventually they'll leave their souls and do the thing that I'm doing partially on my soul. But for now, I'm kind of like showing them like, okay, this is how you do this. This is the process. This is how you break down all the mental blocks. You break down the corruption, the inversion, the discordant energy, the toxic. We break it all down and we go back to the pure. What is a typical day with my husband now? He's amazing. You can't have him, okay? As long as I'm consciously here, you can't have him. And then he is all his twin flames when her consciousness shifts over to this vessel. He takes the kids in the morning because I stay up late till 2, 3. Last night it was 4 a.m. Often I will do collective work until all hours of the night or work on my sessions if it's during the week. So what if he was like, it's your job to deal with the kids. Like, you need to take care of them. And my baby gets up at 6. What does that mean? I'm running on 2 hours of sleep because that's the mom's job, right? No, what does he do? He goes to bed early at 8 or 9. He gets up for the early shift. If the baby gets up in the middle of the night, he saw how wore down I was when I was trying to nurse and take care of her. He said, let me get up in the middle of the night. I'm going to do this. As soon as she went to a bottle and I couldn't nurse anymore, who does the night shift now? Him. Who let me sleep in till 12:30 yesterday? Who I slept until 10:30 this morning? What did he do? He took the kids out of the house, all of them, even the baby. They go have coffee. He set up his office so that he has a pack and play there, a walker, what the baby needs, what the kids need, so that he can work with them there so I can get my sleep. Amazing. Guys, if you're listening to this, the best gift you could give your wife if you want a happy wife, happy family, like her to be running full fuel, let her sleep. Let her have some alone time where it is not constant kids and chaos, because we all need some quiet time to regroup and process. And he really saw me blossom this summer when I started taking alone trips. The first one, I just kind of left and I was like, peace out. I don't know if I'm coming back. Like, I broke. Something in me broke. But it broke in a good way, because he saw when I came back, he was like, whoa, who are you? And what did you do with my wife? And I want this version of the wife. I want this one. Do you think you should plan another trip alone sometime? This time, let me know before you leave, but we will we'll coordinate it for you. He was all for it because he saw the transformation in me and that I needed it. So what did he do? He took all the kids. He's working. They dealt with the animals, everything. I left for 4 days or 5 days, and I did it a few times. He was really disappointed when I went to Butte and I came back more like exhausted. I'm like, I'm sorry. It was a work trip. It wasn't a recharging trip. And he's like, I think he felt cheated because he expected me to come back. He's like, if you're going to leave, I want you to be coming back refreshed. And so he sees the importance of that. Does he cook dinner all the time? No, but he does sometimes. And I will ask him, could you do dinner tonight? He'll do it. What do? I buy the meal kit so he doesn't have to plan it and think about it. It's worth it to buy the dang meal kits, even though they're expensive. I try not to worry about the money. I'm like, I'm living in a prosperity loop. Who cares about that? Buy the kids so that he cooks dinner. He cooked dinner the entire time I was pregnant. And for like 4, 5, 6 months after I had the baby, he cooked every meal. He will go into town. He doesn't do it all the time, but several times a week, he'll bring me my favorite coffee. He was feeling really sick GI wise one day, and it was our anniversary. He sent the kids in he's like, pick out some nice roses for your mom, get red or something. Well, they got me hot pink. And I told him, I'm like, my favorite roses are actually purple roses or like the pink ones that have multicolors. And I'd love blue roses sometime, but I've never seen them here. Only when I was in Miami. Guess what? He brought me on New Year's. He went to the store to grab ice cream for a dessert, and he brought me purple roses that are pink. And I'm like, did you remember me saying that my favorite was purple? And he goes, yeah. My favorite coffee. If it's coffee, which I drink a lot of, like this is mushroom hot cocoa. I drink and Dandy Blend is generally what I bring or drink, but I do a decaf Americano with oat milk and cinnamon and honey. It's very good. From this one place. There's this one place that makes it the perfect way, and that is my favorite. Or there's a blended Yellowstone, which is a blended honey latte, and I use like oat or coconut milk with decaf. I never do caffeinated. Gina says, I'm so blessed. I wasn't always this way. We had a very toxic relationship. We've been married for 21 years. You think it was all marital bliss this whole time? Are you kidding me? Me 10 years ago looking at me now would be like, I wish I had a relationship like that. I wish that was my relationship. That was my husband. Well, it is. Do you think it just created itself out of thin air? No. Lots of quantum healing. Lots of healing on our parts. Lots of shadow work. He gives me a blank check to do whatever healing I want to do on him. So guess what? He's in every session every single week. So are my kids, because I can consent for them, and so are my pets. We're getting all the quantum healing. If he's in town and he knows it's a work night for me, which is a lot of energy for me, he'll say, do you want me to bring you home dinner tonight? Every night he brings home dinner on a Monday. He always brings home dinner on Monday, so nobody has to worry about cooking. There's just little things that have really transformed my life, but I would say the sleep is the biggest one. And his business partner is starting to do the same thing for his wife. And guess what? I think they would say that they have the best relationship they've ever had now. And part of it is from a woman perspective. We have to be willing to receive. Usually your man will be like, you're so beautiful. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm horrible. I look horrible. Look at how fat I am. You're not receiving him. If he says you look beautiful, say thank you. And look at him like you think you're the most beautiful woman in the world, because he really thinks you are. Other day we were driving home from taking the baby to a therapy in the middle of 30 below. And he looked at me and he goes, you have the most beautiful eyes ever. He goes, I don't spend enough time looking at them. We should do that more. And I was like, thank you. It took me a long time to just sit there and say thank you instead of rejecting him. If you have turned down the man so many times, he will stop complimenting you because he feels like, well, what's the point? She's not receiving it. If he brings you the flowers, they are the most beautiful flowers you've ever seen in your life, and you love them. And you're going to tell them every day that they're there. Oh, these are so pretty. I love them. But guess what? Because they brought you so much joy, is he going to remember to buy you flowers again? Yes, because he saw that it brought you joy. Men are givers. They want to give you everything. They want you to blossom and flourish. But as women, through this industrialized revolution and feminism, inverted movement, I don't need your help. Get away from me. Don't hold the door for me. Don't call me pretty. Leave me alone. But then on the other hand, you're like, why am I feeling so empty and void? Because you need him to fill you up. Not in a vampiric way. It fulfills him to fill you. And from your abundance and filling, it fills him, and it creates this beautiful cycle. And nobody is vampiring off of anyone. You want to connect with him on an emotional level when he's meeting your needs. If you pull out any part of this aspect, you feel like as a woman, you're being used. Why did you marry me? Just for cheap sex? I know a lot of women that feel like that. If you're getting your needs met, I guarantee you're not going to have that feeling. And it's going to be a mutual connection. So I don't know why I started talking about that. This has to do with gratitude and abundance and living your best life. Not that I'm perfect. Please don't think I'm perfect. But guess what? I'm stepping into my best life. I'm living it. Like my husband, could I have dreamed of someone better than he is now for me? Nope. No way. If I were to, like when I was 25 or 30 or even 45, 38, if I were to write down like this is my perfect man and this is everything that he does, I wouldn't even have thought of all the things that he is now. The places I've gotten to go and travel by myself, even just around my home, with my car, driving somewhere, magical. Like, how do I live so close to this place? This is so amazing. Like, I can go mine my own crystals. I mined this piece of quartz that has a rainbow in it, not that far from where I live. All of these amazing things can start opening up for you. And this is what I want with this Gratitude and Abundance Gala. Relationships, experiences, your career, whatever you're doing to support your family, your relationships with your children, your family members. Garden, my garden, hundreds of pounds of produce this year. Like, how did that happen? If you could see my dining room, which is back there, the whole floor, like half of the floor is covered with pumpkins and squash. I'm desperately like trying to freeze dry them. The kids think they taste like baby puffs when they're freeze dried into cubes. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna keep freeze drying. If you need some and you live by me, I will give you some. so much that I'm outpouring and can flow out to others with my garden that was so abundant. Did I ever think that, do I consider myself a green thumb? No. But here it is, manifesting amazing abundance. So you can do this too, and I want you to do it. Mia, you sent me 3333. Thank you. That's really sweet of you. And it's almost 3333 my time. So look at what happens. Use me as an example, although I'm not going to say I'm the best example. But if, this sounds good, like what better things could you manifest or create for yourself? Because our relationship and our dynamics are not the same as yours. So it is my dream situation and relationship may not be yours. You need to find that for yourself. Start dreaming, start writing it down.